Today CS2 got a surprise update, and it's probably the most controversial update that I've seen so far to the game, and I want to talk about the patch notes right after a quick word from our sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by SkinsMonkey. SkinsMonkey is a site where you could trade skins that you already have to get some skins that you might want. That way you can hop into your next game with some fresh new skins. All you have to do is log into the site through Steam, put in the skins that you don't want anymore, grab the skins that you do, and then click trade. Trades happen almost immediately, and any balance that you don't use in the trade will roll over for a trade that you might do in the future. Right now you can get a free $5 if you were to use code Austin on the site, and if you were to use my code, you would get an additional 5% on top of the 30% deposit bonus. So let's say if you deposit $100, that means you would get $135 if you use my code to deposit. So make sure you guys check out SkinsMonkey, and let's get right back into the video. Now, it might not look like much, but these 4 lines of text have actually changed the game in quite a big way. Let's start with the first one, which is that basically, if you read this here, it says certain types of movement / shooting input automation, such as hardware assisted counter strafing, will now be detected on Valve official servers, resulting in a kit from the match. Now, if you guys haven't seen this already, what that basically means is that if you use SnapTap on Valve servers, they will automatically detect that and they will remove you from the game. Now, you don't get banned, you don't get any penalties for it, but you can't play with it enabled. It will just keep kicking you from the server. But I do think that this is a overall pretty good change. I have been pretty firm on my stance on SnapTap since its release, which is that I think that it's cheating and I don't think it has a place in the game. So I'm glad to see that Valve also feels this way and they've taken action against it. Okay, we got the second line of patch notes here, which is the one that the community doesn't really like, which is the input binds that now include more than one of the following command will be ignored by default. Support can be re-enabled using sheet protected convar. This doesn't mean anything to you guys. And all of the list of things is right here. People that are smarter than me, you can read these and you can understand what it means. But to summarize, it basically means that jump throw binds are no longer allowed. They don't get you banned, they don't kick you like if you're using SnapTap, but instead they just don't work at all. Now, there has been a lot of misunderstandings based off of this patch note, and a lot of people think that they've just outright removed jump throws. That's not true. Jump throws are still in the game, you're just not allowed to use a bind for them anymore. Now, the community isn't very happy with this change. There's been a lot of tweets that are just outraged at the removal of jump throw binds, and to be honest, I can kind of understand where they're coming from, but it's almost as if they are arguing that jump throws have been removed from the game. If you don't know, that when Counter-Strike 2 actually released, Valve made a feature in the game that jump throws were just included, and there's a 200 millisecond window where if you release your left click throw after you jump, you will get a jump throw, and it's pretty easy to do. So jump throws are still in the game, and they're actually not hard to do at all, and you don't need a bind. The problem comes from some of the more fine thrown grenades, such as tap W jump throw grenades, or grenades that you would throw across the map. Now, without the bind, these might be inconsistent, and I'm a little up in the air on how I feel about this. On the one hand, I don't think it's a bad thing to remove the jump throw binds if we want to be consistent with the removal of automation in Counter-Strike. I think that it does make sense to do this, but on the other hand, from a player's perspective, I can't understand why they would remove this option completely without adding a bind in the game to substitute instead. So I get it, the change does make sense, I just don't like it. And I don't mind maybe having to just practice it over and over, but we already had a solution that I thought was pretty good. But I guess we'll have to see what happens in the future updates. Maybe they'll add a version or a bind that you can just use. Maybe not. Maybe it's just going to be a skill thing now. Either way, not the worst change I've ever seen for Counter-Strike, but the community has definitely had a lot to say about it. Moving back over to the patch notes, the third change is that jump throw confirmation grunts can now be heard by other people nearby. And I tested this in the server with my friend Sfax, and we basically found out that you can hear quite a bit. I'm going to play a segment from my stream really quick where you can see us testing it live, and I think it kind of speaks for itself. Yep, so walk up a little bit more. Yeah, I heard it there. Yeah. Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I think I see it on my
Wait, hold on.
map.
No, I don't. You again?
Hold on.
Yeah, I heard you right there.
I see it on my mini map. It's the little ring, I think.
I don't hear you now.
Hear it there?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the little ring when I jump.
Oh, I see it. I see the little ring.
Yeah.
I can just hear you. Yeah, I just hear you groaning.
Yeah, you can like hear it all the way through.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah, in Donut. If someone is standing in Donut,
yeah,
like,
that's what
on
I'm
the
doing.
very back corner.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I can just hear you.
Yeah. Dude.
Wow. Well, that's a big thing though, because you know you can always hear like the utility, but like Oh my god, I just realized you can know the agent's moans, bro. So if I know that you're Ava and you're jump throwing,
take my fucking shit off. All right, chat, figure out the agent with the quietest drone.
Yes. So now for
right,
testing and only testing, I'm gonna listen to all the agents moan. Okay. Only for testing. Now, as you can see, it does kind of make a small difference, but I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't really think that this changes much. It's more just a quality of life thing. It makes it cooler for spectators. It gives people a better sound cue rather than just hearing the grenade pool. So I guess that is an upside to this change. Overall, though, it doesn't really mean anything. Now, the last line of text here actually is about VAC, and it says right here, the initial testing for VACnet 3.0 has begun on a limited set of matches. If you believe your match was incorrectly canceled, please email us at this email. Now, obviously, this is a big deal because this is the first time that Valve has spoken about anti-cheat in, well, honestly, I can't even remember the last time they did, which is absolutely huge because by far the biggest complaint that people seem to have with Counter-Strike 2 is the amount of cheaters in casual matchmaking modes, such as Premier or Competitive. Now, since I play FACEIT the majority of the time, this doesn't really bother me as much, so I don't have as much ground to speak on this, but I've heard a lot of people complaining, and hopefully this is the solution that they've all been looking for. And honestly, I hope it is because I really hate seeing people getting cheated against. It's outrageous. I mean, even Neymar tweeted about it. I know, right? Can you believe that? This guy has 60 million followers on this account and he's tweeting about cheaters. So it's obviously there's a problem somewhere in there. And I hope that VACnet 3.0 actually does a good job at sorting it out. So with all that being said, I really do think that this is one of the biggest updates that we've had to CS2. Now you might think, Austin, you say that a lot and you're just a YouTuber clickbaiting, but seriously, this is a big deal. Normally, Valve does not speak that much to the community, and for them to come out and outright ban SnapTap or SOCD and also say that we are no longer allowed to use binds that we make on our own, that is a big deal. And also, they even commented on the introduction of new anti-cheat. Normally, they don't speak on this, and so I think this is a very clear step in the right direction. If you want to read more about what Valve said about binds as well as SnapTap, you can go ahead and read it on the blog. I'll show it on screen, but you can go check it. I'll put a link in the description to read their official statement on it. But that'll be it for me. So if you did enjoy the video, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, leave a like as well, and why don't you guys come back and watch a demo review? I plan on reviewing the IEM Cologne final in a couple of days. It's going to be a big video, so make sure you stay tuned for that, and I'm out of here.